Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessing. I'll give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. First things first, you already know, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Thursday. Hopefully everybody smoothly getting through the work day. Hopefully your kids getting through the school day. Almost to the weekend. And again, whatever plans you might have, just keep yourself visual, keep yourself attentive, and again, just enjoy the blessings. And if you was able to wake up today, give your praises to the higher power. For those in the city, weather is kind of tricky right now. Not sure if it's going to rain or snow, but just make sure you got anything that you need just in case when you do. One thing you're trying to avoid is being sick, especially throughout the rest of this winter. So, yeah, just try to keep yourself dressed accordingly, basically. And apologies for those who might hear some wind in the background. You know, I'm on this morning walk as always. Appreciate everybody that tuned in last night for the conversation. Definitely was a great conversation that was needed. Constant reminder of why we continue to need those conversations. If you missed it, catch the replay. Just chiming in with the people. Just a little quick dust off on it though. Some might not have been in. Again, you have to have effective observation throughout life. It is truth. That effective observation will A, keep you out of a lot of hot messes. B, it's definitely going to make you wiser and more aware of your situation, the situation that you put yourselves in. And, more and less, it's going to be a lesson, a valuable tool and a key that's needed. Again, you're always supposed to observe your surroundings. Morena, what's going on, baby? See, you done changed up your name. Susanna, what's going on, baby? Appreciate you, baby. Oh yeah, happy Friday to everybody that's in yeah, happy Friday to everybody that's 12 hours ahead of us. Hopefully y'all relaxing, enjoyed your days, getting ready for your Fridays. But yeah, you need careful observation because again, that's going to keep you as safe as possible. You have to definitely be mindful of again the people that you place in your life and be observant to that too. Not everybody's going to be for you. Some are only going to be there until they feel they could get to their next plantain or their destination, and then they might fall back. I've seen this happen time and time and again. But you be observant too, because again, your safety is the most important thing. I can't stress that out no much than I can stress it out. Safety first before anything. You don't want to blindly walk into a spot and now you don't know how to prepare for it, how to get up out of it. And again, the effective observation will keep a lot of things in your community safe and whole to a degree. Like again, protection of these kids and these teens. Again, you got to start looking at your neighbors and making sure your neighbors is moving accordingly. I don't care what their profession is. I don't care if they got a family or not. You need to make sure that they going by the book, basically. They going by the law of land, and they ain't violating no principles. And I'm still a little pissed off and shocked anyway, only because again, there's no way this teacher just still entitled to get bond for something that he was doing. I feel again that when it comes to specific crimes, there should be no bail at all. Because in my opinion, in my book, you have violated and you basically committed treason against law of the land. Anything dealing with predatory type behavior, anything dealing with physical attacks, sexual attacks, even leading down to somebody's demise, nah, it shouldn't be no bail. Because again, that person knew how far they was going. The problem was that person didn't take that time to really think. They just did it anyway, which is a sad concern because again, this is why I was talking about self-control, even getting down to controlling your overall emotions. But I'm gonna be honest with you, no abuse should be tolerated at all, on any scale, any level. No abuse should be tolerated. I was watching a movie last night, and you know what's kind of sad about it is really depicting and painting some harsh truths. Like we know that if you've been sent to Catholic school or Catholic boarding school, yeah, we know what it is. That means they are in control. That means guess what? They are going to discipline you since your parents can't be here to discipline you. Good in certain instances, bad in certain instances, because there were certain instances where people been abused worse than they would have been abused by their parents. I've always felt like this. You don't need to be abusive to learn how to teach something. I don't always got to be aggressive either. Got to understand that some people are not going to learn as fast, and when they do learn, shoot, the most you could do is give them credit for that. But it did, like I said, show a harsh picture, but a picture nonetheless that we already don't know. Again, when you are sending your kids to these boarding schools or whatever, guess what? You're not going to be able to discipline them if they act out. So again, you are leaving them in sole custody of whoever. And a lot of times, some of you will do that and not do your overall research and your backgrounds on things. That's where the problem could lead to. Because for all you know, your kid could possibly be getting abused even then. If not sexually, he could be getting abused, period, as far as physically. Shoot, even mentally abused, you can get mentally abused there. I knew a couple people who went to them charter schools, and trust me, them stories was not good at all. Those boarding schools was not no joke. L, what's going on, baby? I would say it like this to some of y'all. If you are gonna ship your kids off because they're not doing right, make sure you ship them off to the right spot. Not saying they should be somewhere where it's super lenient, but it shouldn't be super aggressive neither. I mean, it is about again teaching and trying to restore a balance that you can't restore. You know, because this is the thing though. There are certain things we watch that give us a grim picture of things that are either to come or things that we have already been going through and we still haven't figured out how to stop it. But again, I was always taught that when you keep an open eye out to everything around you, you'll pretty much figure out the answers you need right then and there. And then you know how to move. Like again, effective observation. You need to make sure your neighbors is not doing anything devious or even anything that could be dangerous to themselves or to the people around them. Again, whether they got a family or not, you are supposed to keep your eye out. And if something don't look right, it don't look right. And you need to act on it. Lisa J, what's going on, baby? Y'all already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. But I feel like last night's conversation was definitely a great one because again, kind of got to some of the main parts we need to get to. Again, there should be no reason why that teacher was even offered bail. Anytime there's a situation like that when it's dealing with a school official, don't care how high up they are, they should not be granted any type of bail. I don't care if they got the money to get out. They shouldn't. Because again, they done something that's already a violation of the code. So why should they be granted any type of chance to still have freedom? And then who knows if they don't do it again? I don't care what you try to claim you're going to do. How you know if they don't end up doing it again? Another thing that you need to be effective on is if you know you got so-called grown men and women out here harming these kids, even to the point of their own demise. Nah, they got to be held accountable. Stand up on that. Again, some of you need to have self-control. That's why, effective observation is good for you in life. Even if you find yourself in a serious situation, you are still supposed to have enough common sense to say, I got to think before I do. I'm not just going to do something and don't know what the ramifications are going to be. Again, my anger, my disposition should never allow me to cause that much bodily harm or injury to anybody. And I feel anytime, prime example, you could go to the extent and even again cause that type of harm to the youth that have nothing to do with anything. You are a sad piece of work. My view and opinion on it. A sad piece of work. You're the most evil, despicable, the most evil, the most despicable. I was looking at a story where guy went and killed this other guy and then ends up going and doing the same thing to the two boys, his kids, the youngest ones. Like that don't make sense. That part right there don't make sense. They kid was doing what was right, trying to get somebody off the streets. And it's sad again because I just spoke about this last night, how some people will take their street politics and try to incorporate it amongst people who are not in the streets. It ain't fair. So I could have imagined if it wasn't those kids, may they rest in peace. If it would have been a elderly person that would have said something, you would have again, you would have went to that extent to go try to. No, I'm gonna say this: if you gonna go that far and do something, then you might as well go all out. Now, I don't even condone it, but if that's how you feel you're gonna do, you might as well go all out and stand on your principle like a man. Then, because obviously you don't care. So if you don't care, you should be able to stand there and stand tall when it's time for you to get caught. Breeze, what's going on, my guy? Say again, it's called accountability. That is not fair that again you would sit there and cause this type of harm and this type of destruction to a family because you too cowardice to stand on your principle on anything. You did something wrong, all right. If you ain't gonna turn yourself in, you might as well do the right thing and just get caught. You gonna run, guess what? You might not be able to run forever. And every time that you are out and about in the world, knowing that you could have something hanging over you, you're not gonna be walking as big and bad as you think you are. Because you never know what the consequences are behind the things you do. This is why I said the community need to start being more observant when it comes to anything. Because you never know who could be in trouble, who can end up severely losing their life because of situations that shouldn't have even occurred. You know, again, some people will talk about protection, but they don't want to stand up for it. So again, how can we make that work? And again, the saddest part about it, there should be no bail requirement for nothing when it comes to those type of crimes. When it comes down to you unaliving children and people who are innocent in anything, nah, you shouldn't get no bail. You should not get no bail at all. Because if you was man enough or you think you was man enough to go that far with something that didn't need to happen, then you should stand tall on your damn principle and stand tall on your crown. Why run? Why keep having to run? And then some of y'all don't run or get far because you end up getting into something else that gets you wrapped up. Tamika, what's going on, baby? I'm sorry, but that's the most ignorant thing you could ever do. If you got an issue with a person, you have an issue with that person, not their family, not the elders, not anybody around them that don't have nothing to do with that. And again, it should never have to get that deep and that far, unless it's necessarily required to do so. Nah, you shouldn't even be thinking that far. Prime example: if you're gonna go for the gusto and you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do, you do know what comes with that. Just want you to know that you do know what comes with that. And I feel if you're gonna do that, then there should be no bail requirements. There are certain things in the system that should change for the better and not for the worse. I don't even wish the system nor death or anybody, not even the worst enemies. But then again, when you got evil, vile, despicable people who are out here doing what they want to do, nah. And if they continuously doing what they're doing, nah, they need to sit back. If you're gonna go that far and that deep, then don't expect no bet at all. Because you still had ample opportunity to stop before you did it. Prime example, if you done stabbed up somebody more than 10 times and they happen to pass away from their injuries, you shouldn't be entitled no bail. Again, not unless it was really a self-defense situation. Nah. Once you go that far, go that evil, you don't deserve bail. And when you don't show remorse for anything, you definitely don't need to be out in the world. Because again, you're gonna have that notion to want to do it again. No, gotta get out that mindset that I gotta seek and destroy everything. Ruthie, what's going on, baby? Again, I don't think it's fair when people who don't have nothing to do with nothing end up getting put in the midst of something and either get seriously injured or again not being here to enjoy the rest of their life. It's a sad world that we living in right now. And the things are going to change in the system, prime example. For that type of system, y'all need to really go back to the drawing board. Because once you already find out that this is what it was, they shouldn't be getting no bail, no bond. For what? So they could take a chance to either run or take a chance and need to still do something if you don't put them on proper restrictions. Come on now. It is to a point where you can't even say house arrest and none of that other stuff because we seeing videos and we seeing things right now. People chopping off their ankle bracelets with no remorse, no nothing. Come on that. Always felt like this. If this was a serious crime, no, the person should sit up. And I mean sit up even through trial, all of that. Shouldn't be out in the world because if you was able to make that dangerous calculation, nah, who knows what else you'll do. But again, that is the saddest thing when you have people that don't have remorse. And when they do, it's already too late. Like with that situation I was telling y'all a while back, that young boy robbed a dude only 18 years old. You robbed a dude, that dude is only 21 and he not gonna be able to live the rest of his life because you wanted to rob him, see he didn't have nothing, and you still let off a shot and you executed him. Come on now. That right there was still sheer evil. And I'll just say that again. You think you gonna rob somebody or do whatever, it shouldn't come to a point where you have to get extremely violent or again even have to do something that you can't take back. You can't give life back. You can't. It's easy to take one. It's hard to give one back. And then you gotta live with that on your hands. Care if you spiritual or not. You still gotta live with that on your hands. And that will eat you at some point. Care how evil and tough you think you might be, at some point your conscience will eat at you. Somebody did a crime, no remorse, they shouldn't get no bail. They shouldn't get no requirements, none of that. Let them sit their asses up. I'm sorry. I was reading a story about this lady just got stabbed in her 17 times. That's overkill right there. Anytime it's something like that, that's overkill. No. They need to sit up because there's a possibility, even if they do get out, they could end up doing the same thing somewhere else. And you never know it. Or they'll find a different way to get in trouble. So again, no, let them sit up. You're supposed to have quote unquote criminal profilers and everything else. So if you're supposed to be able to if you're supposed to be able to dictate and read something, you should be able to understand who should really get bail and who shouldn't. I'm sorry, but that's not cool. In that situation right there, and that woman was young. So again, a loss of life for what? Just because again you can't get in control of your overall emotions and your psyche. This is something people need to practice. Practice getting in control of your aggressions and your emotions, even in the roughest of times. Because again, that's going to symbolize strength. And that's going to symbolize that no matter what's going on, you got this. And again, I don't think that's fair. Somebody would have to go through that extremes again just to do what? What did you accomplish? Only thing you accomplish is that you're going to be sitting up for the rest of your life over irrash decision. All it takes is a moment of anger. A moment of anger will definitely lead to a moment of crying, a moment of crying, a moment of never coming back. That one angry moment will be probably your final moment. Again, it's wise to think before you do things. I don't care how you move. I don't care if you're moving in the streets. Don't care if you're moving like a civilian. It is careful execution at times to again be aware of what you need to be aware of. And again, it should never get that deep. Get in control of your situation. You can't blame the world for your stresses, your misfortunes, and anything else along those lines. You at some point will have to take accountability for your own. If you're not where you need to be, whose fault is that? Is that the world's fault or is that your fault? When you're not thinking for yourself, when you're not thinking about yourself, when you're not caring about yourself, when you're not even loving yourself, you will crash all the way out and burn. And crash out and burn for all the wrong reasons again, which is silly. Not everybody gonna have the best of lives, but in the same token, you should be blessed that you have life. Because there are people who don't have life that wish they did. Well, I believe they wish they did. Because maybe they would still have time to make changes and figure out, and they could have been those players that we needed right now. And I think beyond the box, beyond and above that whole box. Because again, sadly and selfishly throwing away your lives for what? A moment of opportunity that probably ain't gonna never come. And not the way you expect it to. You would rather be noticed for being a legend or an icon, right? But you're not making no legend or iconic moves. Not taking the thought process serious. And again, you betting on yourself when you're allowing yourself to fall down that negative path of destruction. There's time to wisen up. Because once you make an irrash decision like that, you got to live with that forever. Nobody else but you. And I'm telling you, it's going to slowly but surely start eating you alive. There's probably going to be nights you're not going to sleep because all you're going to see is the damage and destruction that's on your hands. There are some people who they don't care about the message. They're going to continue to do what they do. But this message ain't for them. This is for those who are want to be followers. You want to follow down the road of destruction until you see how serious it really gets. It's just like when I was telling y'all a while back about this young boy, like I said, sat here, took out this kid, knowing this kid ain't have nothing on him anyway. Didn't show not a lick of remorse nor anything. Even joked at one point during the Dawn trial. But when that judge told him what he told her, he had to sit back and really realize that, okay, the fun and games is really over. Trust me, don't nothing hit worse than when somebody is reading you your fate and telling you from the soul what's going to happen. And for that judge to say the only time you'll be able to leave this jail is in a box, they mean that. You ain't going out a damn place. And again, young, excuse my language, probably never smelt the whiff of anything. And you mean to tell me that was worth it? So you basically did that and got away with nothing, which is what some people I see be doing. Y'all doing all these horrendous acts of violence and crime to try to get a come up, and you don't even get the come up. You don't even get what you think you're gonna get. So now you stuck to square one again on that. Seen a story with these dudes, they done yanked out an ATM machine from the gas station. Just those little sparks from them pulling that thing out the gas station could have caused an explosion. That's another thing I don't get with some of y'all. Why are y'all not being effective when it comes to your observation of what you know? That right there could have been serious on all ends. See, again, certain things you want to do, certain risks you want to take, those could be your final destinations. And again, for some people that need to hear this, don't uphold your friends, family, anybody up in no wrong if you know this is what they're doing. Care how long you know them. This is why I said start holding accountability on people, and they gonna have to start taking responsibility for their actions. Because when you're not doing that, you're basically being a part of that, whether you believe that or not. If I know you done did some sort of wrong, you done harmed a child, done harmed a teen, or done harmed an adult on any form the way it could have been costly, I can't rock with you because I can't trust you. And that's how some people should actually have that mindset. I feel you doing something I know could be costly, or it could be a situation where they try to, nope, I'm not there with you because I don't know what you're doing. Be observant with your friends and making sure, even when you ain't around them, making sure they still keeping accorded. Because you don't need to be getting ran down on for nothing that you did not do. Because again, any real friend, especially if they the one that's doing all the wrong, they want to take that responsibility and that accountability. The minute you see that they don't, that ain't somebody you need to be around no more. I've watched friendships break up just because of that. You out here doing some wild stuff. I'm not around you, but when I am around you, you ain't doing nothing of the sort. And you get me wrapped up and was getting ready to try to say we both. No, take your accountability. If you did what you did, be real about it. Listen, he ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This is all on me. Especially the person ain't really with you doing anything like that. Be real about it. Time for some of y'all to again start being more wiser and more woke in what you do. I said, you know the difference between the streets then and the streets now? The streets then still had codes and still had morals we stood by. And we meant that. That means we wasn't allowing we wasn't allowing no abuse. We wasn't allowing too much drug flow, and we definitely wasn't allowing no outsiders to come in here and destroy anything that we had. We stood on principles as far as making sure these kids wasn't delving into situations they didn't need to, giving them opportunities even when it wasn't no opportunities. This situation now ain't the same no more. There ain't no code, no ethic, no nothing. Anything, anything is up for grabs now, basically. Come on now, make that make sense. Since when was it ever cool for somebody to do something and don't get held accountable as far as those type of crimes and actions? Since when has it been cool to just overlook it and don't look at it at all? It's never been. You don't have some people that don't want to hear the message. Hey, it is what it is. But for the ones who need to hear it, again, you better start using all your observation in life. and really be careful in them decisions that you make. Because again, those costly decisions could be your last decisions. And again, why would you want to risk your life or your freedom just for a momentary gain that you probably won't even gain? And if you gain it, guess what? You got to live with the harsh reality that you did certain things just to achieve that. And again, some of y'all just be getting away with absolutely nothing. You do even the unthinkable and don't get away with anything. What was the purpose of doing it? If you done robbed somebody or you robbing somebody, what's the use of taking their life? What's the use of causing harm to them? Oh, so they don't open their mouth and say something? But again, that would be what you would consider you putting street code logic into that. If you just robbed a citizen, a hardworking citizen, even an elder, so on and so forth, how is that you would do that and then again not take your accountability? You was big enough to do that, so you should be stand up on what you got to stand up on. Take it as it is. And again, it's sad that some of you would really have to get locked up or go through worse just to just to learn something or utilize something you could have did when you was out here. I don't think that's the right move. It ain't. You know how many people in jail right now? Brilliant minds, gifted athletes, gifted in any scale of the spectrum, and half of them ain't utilize it while they was out here because of the bad influences, because of people not taking the chances on it. Riaz, what's going on, my guy? This is why some of these people are behind bars and might not ever come home. Because look at the situation and the severity of things. Placed in a predicament, for some of them, placed in a predicament where there was no sort of reasoning, there was no sort of help being given. So they took the ultimate decision on their own. And there are some that again knew what the course was, didn't care, and still made it, and still made it just to get locked up. Knew what the course was. There's some people who just didn't care. Honestly, they did because they were solely focused again on causing pain and misery. There's some who wish to God they never made the mistakes that they made because again, look how much time has been lost. And again, it shouldn't take you to be incarcerated, locked away from your family or any of that for you to learn something or for you to really start cherishing things that you should have cherished when you was out here. Put your skills, your use to talent. You know, your skills, put them to use. Talents, put them to use. Whoever's going to float that boat of success, keep it pushing. Because again, it shouldn't have to come at the cost of somebody's expense. Shouldn't do that. And there are some people again that are just going to be the most wretched and the most evil. So there is no getting through to them. And they're going to be on a destructive path until they end up getting destroyed. This is why another reason you have to be carefully observant, especially within your community. Angel, what's going on, baby? And shout outs to Sirius S. I know she on the road, baby. Look, I spoke you up. Serious, what's going on, baby? Out here working harder than the New York Giants coaching staff. I see you out here, baby. But again, I'm going right back to what I said. If you sat here and took the ultimate decision and made the ultimate decision, knowing the consequences that's going to be behind it, if you still did it, you should not be awarded any type of bond, bail, anything. Sit up. Take your punishment like a man. Take your punishment like a woman. Because again, it's not just the men doing the destruction out here. I always call it down the middle. Some of you young women locked up right now probably never coming home because you couldn't get in control of your actions. Instead of you either A, scrapping it out or just talking it out, you decide to go the extra route and end up taking out somebody that shouldn't have been taken out and destroying a family or a balance. Now, in some situations that we seen, yeah, if it's self-defense, it's self-defense and nobody can get mad about it. But in the same token, if it wasn't self-defense, if it was already provoked, if it was already actions, I can't say nothing still. And even still, that's wrong. We should never have to get to a point where we feel we got to get rid of each other. We either gonna scrap it out like how we did in the old school, or we gonna have a talk, or we just gonna stay away from each other. And we'll just be enemies, and that's it. I'm not going that far, that deep, and I'm not gonna be sitting here taking somebody out. And I definitely won't be losing sleep and letting my conscience eat me up. That's what I'm saying. You got to be more in control of your path of destination. Your path and destination is to try to be great and successful. Find a way that's not going to get you locked up or have you losing your life before time. You don't know how selfish that is. You know, you know how selfish that is when you don't think about yourself. Nobody else is going to think for you. Nobody else is going to be able to move the chains for you. You're going to have to move the chains. And that means taking accountability for the things you need to fix and taking responsibility and just fixing it. Again, I don't think it's fair when people get dragged into instances that they didn't have nothing to do with. It's time for some of y'all men and women out there, even if you are going to move out there like that, to stop putting people in the midst of things. Children should not be on the hit list. Elders should not be on the hit list for anything. I'm sorry, that is really just it's law of land. Because if you're gonna do stuff like that, imagine what you would allow to happen to your family. And that's why I said be observant. Because you're gonna have those that regardless to what you try to do, they ain't gonna want to hear nothing. They already gonna have it in their head to do what they want to do and do what they feel they're gonna do when they want to do. And that's when you're supposed to give them that humble wall and tell them, no, the fuck you not. If you could possibly stop certain things from happening, stop it from happening. You think something could get crucial? Is either two things. You either gonna get up out of Dodge with yours, or you want to make sure you doing what's necessary to be a cool head around it. Know what to insert yourself in. Yeah, Angel, you'll have stories like that, and it's the most cowardice thing you can do. Again, you feel your hand been forced, so you gonna go and do the unthinkable. Now, how would you have felt if it had been yours? I'm sorry, the mindset in this community nowadays, mindset is way off. Because again, some of you are living in a fairy tale world where you think you could commit any type of acts of crime and continuously just get off scot free. Nope. Some point your luck runs out. Even the toughest of gangsters, or even the most gangsters of gangsters, luck ran out at some point. Like I said, you want to prove you a gangster, start uplifting yourself and start uplifting the people within your community to make a change for something. You want to prove you gangster, gang up on the ones that's actually oppressing and doing what they doing and messing us up, if you feel that way. Stand up for the right reasons. That's gangster. Making sure these kids and these teens don't get harmed in any way, shape, or form. That's gangster. Keeping your community on lock when you need to. That's gangster. Everybody got their own version of gangster. I got mine. That's gangster right there. Trying to keep peace and trying to keep situations from going into a full heated battle. That's gangster. Knowing how to control a crowd of people, especially when things are getting rough. That's gangster. Because there's a lot of people who can do that. I just watched a situation with a concert, and one of the rappers' favorite rappers could have been in the midst of a scuffle or a shootout, and yet it still calmed everybody down. There are people who know how to do that. There are quote unquote gangsters and gentlemen out there. Not every situation needs to be a heated and a violent situation. And again, it is solely up to you to control yourself and your impulses. I hear you, Riaz. But see, look, with this, it shouldn't matter if you in a gang or not. You should have a moral and decorum about you to know not to violate certain principles that would violate law of the land. It's not right. Appreciate you, serious baby. And appreciate you too, Angel baby. Y'all dropping content pack worse than these motherfuckers on the block, baby. Oh snap. Got my new hustlers up here. Look at them. They hustling. They hustling on the block. Look at it. No, but you know, it shouldn't matter what background you coming from. You should have a standard about yourself. I'm not going to do this just to gain some sort of notoriety. I'm not going to do this just to get an upbringing that I could just get on my own if I dedicate myself to building myself, even if nobody else wants to build. That's the one thing you got to remember. At the end of the day, you are going to be your own weapon. How you going to build a weapon of prosperity? How you going to build a weapon of building and growth? How you going to manage to maintain that weapon, not putting the right pieces in it? Instead of y'all shooting at people, why don't y'all shoot for the stars, man? Getting pointless again when people are doing horrendous acts, and then you have children that's involved in the midst. And despite that person being locked up for doing what you did, because you basically just killed the whole family. Excuse me for saying it that way. You basically just took out a whole family, minus the mother, which is sad again, because those kids ain't had nothing to do with nothing. You committed the ultimate act against a parent. They did what was right or did what they thought was right, and you decide to come back and do something to them, which is crazy. Again, your anger, your aggression, your discretions should never lead to that type of senselessness. I would advise that if some of y'all really having issues with your aggression, your anger, and anything else, go get some sort of counseling some form of psychiatric help. Go do something. Northwoods, what's going on? You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But I would seriously advise that y'all go get some sort of help before it gets too far and too deep, and then you end up doing things that you can't come back from. You can't come back from taking the life of a child. You can't come back from that, not by the law of land. Even if you served your time and got out, you still can't live in society right. Come on now. There's certain acts that you should never commit because, again, that goes against the law of the land, and that's a treason right there on all angles, even on a spiritual level. Yes, those people are supposed to suffer. Not supposed to get no slap on the wrist. Not even supposed to be getting looked at for bail or anything when they do these type of crimes. You end up hurting the most precious gifts in life. You block a lot of blessings, even your own. And trust me, that will haunt you more than anything. And you know what's going to hurt worse? When you get wrapped up for the crime. Because guess what? Despite everything, them real murderers, those real ones in there, they ain't trying to hear the words pedophile. They ain't trying to hear the word predator. And they definitely not trying to hear you killed elderly or you killed kids. They ain't trying to hear that. You will be the number one target on their books, even if you got put in PC. There are people who think just because you get put in certain areas, you're going to be protected at all times. You're not. Especially when you got a jacket that's bad. Like that teacher, prime example. Don't think he ain't going to suffer at some point. He is. I don't care how old he is. Because once they hear what he really in there for, and like I said, it's already worldwide news. So once they know what you in there for, you can try to lie if you want. It's going to make it worse on you. Again, I done seen certain videos where these people ain't getting no protection in jail. I watched one when this dude just got literally sliced up and hacked up. And at first I thought it was a regular prison confrontation. No, they did that to him because he did some unthinkable stuff he shouldn't have did. Should have never thought to do. So those are the consequences for those who want to keep moving that route. Any form, any harm coming towards any one of those young ones, you gonna get a revenge that you was not expecting, but just expected. And start getting in control of your overall emotions in your thinking process before you just go out and do anything that could be drastic. You want to live a life? All right, go live that life. But don't harm nobody that don't need to be harmed. And don't take out nobody that don't need to be taken out. And it's time to stop protecting the people who are being a part of these damn acts. There's some of you who know these people out here doing this stuff, and you ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing for two reasons. Either A, you too scared, or B, you too scared. Because there should be no friendship, no deep, no none of that. If you know you got people who are out here committing these crimes, even talking about these crimes, you ain't saying nothing, you just as guilty. Some of you will try to uphold these people in wrong, knowing that you're making yourself an accomplice, whether you believe that or not. It's not fair at all. Again, it's time for some of y'all to again think about that road of life you taking before you just take it. If this road don't seem like it's gonna be a fun destination, don't go down that road. If you know that road is definitely gonna lead to despair, it's gonna lead to nothing good out of that. Don't go down that road. Again, you have to start solely thinking. Stop letting people think for you. Think for yourself. Stop letting your friends think for you. Stop letting your family think for you. Think for yourself and be carefully observant again of what you're doing. Because that moment of misjudgment or that moment of anger definitely lead to a moment of heartache and sorrow. And start being more focused on what you need to be focused on. It's time for some of y'all to start re-strengthening yourself. You need to really think what's best for you, what's going to keep you safe, what's going to keep you here longer, what's going to keep you on a prosperous road. You shouldn't be jumping out the window just because of your emotions all the time. You really should. I learned that, shoot, coming up as a teen, can't react to everything, and you can't give the reaction that you want to give because that moment right there, it'll lead to a moment of uncertainty and a moment of misery. That misery, you'll never be able to live it through. Kid you not. You think you big enough to do that? Think you big enough to take away somebody's life? You think you big enough to cause that type of pain and harm to a family or anything else along that lines? Then you go ahead and do it. But just remember what comes with that. You don't get caught by the law, you're going to get caught by the land. Don't let that bar go over your head. You don't get caught by the law, you might get caught by the land. And I honestly feel, in my overall opinion, I'm sorry. If you've committed those type of treacherous and heinous acts, and guess what? You deserve the death penalty. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because if you ain't give somebody a chance to do anything, you don't deserve a chance neither. And I stick on that message for the day. I stand on that. You gonna make reforms in this quote unquote system, that should be one reform. That the severity of the crime, there should be no bail. We already know if it becomes federal, even if bail is offered, you still ain't getting out because feds will hold you. But if it ain't fed, even down to the state crime, city crime, nah. If it's that crazy, if that's that treacherous, no, they don't deserve nothing. They had all the opportunities to stop themselves from doing anything, but they still chose to do it. So it should be no remorse there. Should be no forgiveness there. Again, karma comes around for those who are moving a certain way. And if you're continuously moving that way, then guess what? It's only a matter of time for that karma catch up to you. Again, it's all about the thought process. Because what you think is good ain't gonna be good. It could be tragic. And it could be tragic on all ends. I've always felt like this. It shouldn't take you risking your life or risking somebody else's life for you to get where you feel you trying to get to in life. Better start thinking before you start doing. And I'm gonna keep preaching that every damn day until y'all start getting the message. Think before you do. Start being more calculated. Start being more on point when you need to be. Because the minute again you allow everything to override your thought process and decisions, you want to have misery beyond misery. It's just something that should be thought about for the day. Message of the day again is think before you do. Don't take a rocket scientist to realize that if you put yourself in these type of dangers and critical situations, you're going to get nothing but negative outcomes all the time. And again, shouldn't have to be getting incarcerated or almost losing your life to learn something in life. Start being more productive with what you do. You have a mind, and your mind is great. And your mind is definitely supposed to be thinking at all times. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I don't know why I muted for knowing damn well I ain't worried about nothing. Next time we gonna hear older music, don't worry. No, but again, you gotta think about it. When you still have ample time to think, you really need to process everything. And if you feel it ain't that worth it, don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put yourself down those crossroads, especially if you're not prepared for the consequences. And there's some of you who are doing things again because you're just solely following people. You're not being your own person. You're not thinking for yourself. In the long run, guess what? Things you do, you'll see who actually have your back when you be behind that wall. And there's some people who to this day are crying because again, mostly anybody and everybody that they loved is gone one way or another. And they ain't gonna be able to get that back. Another thing I'm gonna say be observant on is again when you know there's situations involving sexual attacks. Be observant so this way the wrong people don't get put up in the madness. And this way we won't have people overturn convictions. Because again, we got people coming home now that were wrongfully convicted on a lot of different things. And now because of DNA evidence, all the new technology and data that's going on, DNA forensics, and then actual people who knew they lied and actually had a conscience to finally say something, which is sad. Just watch these two guys get They just got their convictions overturned for something that happened in 1987. Look how long it took for them to finally get freedom when they didn't do nothing at all. And look how long it took those people to come and say that they lied about it. And that's another thing that need to be changed if you want to change things in the system. If somebody lied about a serious crime and had somebody wrongfully convicted, guess what? They need to be convicted and they need to go through the process, just like this person did. It's crazy, huh? And this is why we have some of these minds and some of these great talents that never got a chance to be. Because we have people who will sit there and lie for their own damn personal gains. Or they'll lie because they too chicken shit to say something. And that's exactly what was said. You took God knows how long to finally come and say we lied and we only lied because the cop told us to lie. Make it make sense. How do you live with yourself that long knowing that you had somebody locked up for something they didn't do because you was too scared? But it's also a sad invitation on what was going on back then. You know, it's a good thing now things have changed to some degree, but it's still you got to be more aware and got to be observant. Don't let nobody be sitting up for a crime they ain't commit. And if you know they ain't committed, don't lie. And if you want to aware of whatever, then don't lie. It's crazy, man. Realist, what's going on, my guy? Be observant in certain things. Because guess what? We still have situations where we have people getting wrongfully accused of things. And not so much as because of corrupt detectives or whatever. You got people in the community that's corrupt. Lady Shay, what's going on, baby? Come on. You wasn't sure if this was a person that did something, but you still want to label them and say that they did. How did that work? And then again, look, almost 30, almost 40 years basically of their life wasted. They ain't got family to go to. Most of their people gone. They out of touch with what's going on. They've been held down since the 80s. We almost damn near next couple years we're gonna be in the 2030s. So that's half of their life missing. They gotta get reacquainted, readjusted to the world. And some people again think that money is always gonna fix the problem when you've wrongfully done somebody wrong. No. And if you go and think money wise and think that that is all right, well, guess what? You need to make sure when they come home, they got a crib. You need to make sure that they don't have to worry about nothing for the rest of their lives because you took a part of their life. That's just my view and opinion on it. We know it ain't gonna happen. Who knows how many more cases are gonna get overturned and people are gonna be coming home. And again, half of these people are gonna be lost in society because they done lost so much time in their life. Appreciate you, North Woods, you already. And again, appreciate you, Sirius and Angel. Appreciate y'all both for dropping those links, baby. Working hard in these damn subways. I'm working hard in these subway cars right now, walking past me, baby. Oh, but you know, come on now. Gotta come to that conclusion. Look how many things have gone wrong because some people are just lying, manipulative, too scared. You shouldn't be scared to tell the damn truth. If you know you didn't see somebody doing something, then don't point them out. That's the saddest thing in the world again. Be more observant of things going on around you. If you know something ain't sitting right, and you stand against it. You know somebody being done wrong in any way, shape, or form, you need to be the vocal point of anything. Don't let somebody get locked up, or don't allow somebody to just be lied on. No, I'm just speaking in general. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about some of these people who are just coming home from cases that just got overturned. People lying because they either too scared to tell the truth or they too evil to tell the truth. Look how many people are just coming home from lies. Some of these people got locked up off of a witness that wasn't even a credible witness. If you getting locked up and losing a portion of your life over a dope head's statement, something wrong there. You losing a part of your life because a woman or a man want to lie and say that you committed these crimes knowing that you didn't. That's messed up. And again, how do you live with yourself? I was trying to remember who said that dumb stuff, but I sat there and laughed at it. I laughed at it only because I'm like, do you really think when it comes to federal situations, you really think they care how old you are, that they ain't gonna come get you? They coming to get you. Coming to get you whether you think that or not. And again, I feel any type of lies, especially again, people getting incarcerated for your lies, you need to suffer the same fate. You shouldn't be out here lying, scheming, and conniving on the people. You gonna get people locked up, or you gonna sit there and give statements on a crime that happened. You better make sure you got all your info right. Don't just sit there and point fingers because they want you to point fingers to that person. No, it's crazy, man. Again, nobody should have to worry about being in shackles or cuffs for some BS that they didn't do. Now, if you did the crimes, you did whatever. All right, look, you gotta take what's given to you. But again, if you didn't do nothing, you shouldn't have to worry about losing a portion of that life that you can't get back. You can't get back time. You can't get back relatives. You can't get back lost wages, incomes. You can't get back lost opportunities that was there for you before you got wrapped up. It's crazy, man. Same thing I was saying about women lying on men about sexual attacks because they made mistakes. You taking a risk on somebody, right? You messed up, and instead of you just taking your accountability and responsibility, you'll sit there and lie and say this is what happened, knowing that it didn't happen. So now, essentially, again, word of mouth, you lying, and then now you getting somebody possibly in danger. And those type of things people can't come back from to some degree. Because depending on how long it's been stretched out there, you done did damage. And actually, this is what's going to happen from now on. I feel like this. It's not just going to be if you lied about a crime, you getting locked up. You could possibly get sued for defamation of character, especially if you try to destroy that person's character with that lie. That's why I said some of y'all need to think before you do things and think before you speak. There's a lot of people right now getting sued for defamation just for lying on people. It's not no joke. Some of y'all are not prepared on any level to deal with the consequences. You not prepared to deal with the consequences of being locked up, and you definitely ain't prepared for the consequences of having to pay somebody for you ruining their life. what I'm saying? Knowing that you got people who are actually suffering from these crimes, but you will sit there and lie to make yourself the victim. That's something y'all got to stop doing. This victim mentality. When you messed up, accept your accountability, accept your responsibility. You messed up. Take accountability. Just know not to do the same shit over again. I remember that situation with, like I said, this girl so mad because man didn't want to be with her no more. Still was willing to be a father and still be a part of his child's life. You couldn't even accept that. First thing you did was sit there and lie and say that he abused and he did all of those. No. And come to find out, look here. You done got this man locked up, done got the whole town against him, got everybody, even his own family, thinking that he did something. And then come to find out, not by one but two lie detector tests, that he was telling the truth the whole time. He didn't do shit. The problem was she didn't want to move on like he was about to move on. She couldn't accept that fact. So what better way to try to make somebody suffer when you don't want to accept something? I'm gonna make you hurt like you. I'm gonna make you hurt like I hurt, which is a sad mentality in this world. There's a lot of you men and women out there doing that. Take responsibility for what you've done. Take accountability for the things that you need to change. You know what I'm saying, man? And these are the things that are being accepted in society now, getting overlooked. It's all right for somebody to lie and put somebody else's life in danger, right? Nah. Ladies, you doing what you doing out there? Be prepared for the consequences if you ain't safe. And vice versa, you fellas too. Because the minute something don't go either way, you're going to expect some sort of lie or some sort of whatever. And again, think about it. That man lost out a portion of his child's life, lost out at least almost 8 years of that child's life, to come to find out he didn't do nothing, didn't abuse her on either level, and come to find out again, lied the whole time. You shouldn't have to put somebody in the midst of a lie and a scheme. You shouldn't be lying, period. Not when it comes to that. Because again, you have people who are actually been victims and suffered from that. And some of them don't never get right. So for you to sit there and lie about it, for you to sit here and think that that's the way that the world should be, you're seriously sick and you need help. It's crazy, man. It really is. You might not want to hear what's being said today. You might not like the fact I'm the one saying it. But there's some things you need to accept. And you need to accept the fact that when you mess up on either angle when it comes to your own personal well-being, you have to take accountability and responsibility. Nobody else but you. Because again, it doesn't matter what situation it is. Once you lie on somebody, and once they are already incarcerated or they on the verge of getting incarcerated, you can't take that back. And again, you need to be mindful of what you're putting out there. What you're putting out there will definitely get you hurt. Again, I believe in karma. You lying about somebody, you lying on somebody, it'll come back to bite you one way or another. Fucking crazy, man. And I feel bad for anybody who, again, who is either just coming home from crimes that they didn't commit, and coming home because of lies from other people. And I'm gonna be honest, some people are actually coming home because even while their cases did get somewhat overturned because of new evidence, depending on where they at, they still ain't trying to let people go. Like I just remember that a while back, forgot which state it was. You mean to tell me I just got evidence proving on me not doing this and not doing this, and you're not going to overturn my decision? You're going to still keep me held in for what? Oh no, my fault. You overturned my decision, but then the same token, you still holding me. If you supposed to be letting me go, let me the fuck go. Like, come on now, because you going by old standards of that quote unquote city and state. Some of them old ass bylaws, they need to get rid of those. That's another reason why you got so many people locked up. All these old ass criminal bylaws. First of all, if I just proved to you that I didn't have nothing to do with nothing, I done already spent half of my time in jail. You mean to fucking tell me you still gonna keep me? Make it make sense. Come on now, like where are we getting at in life right now? Where are we getting to? Like I said, we wasn't allowing a lot of that back in the day. And when it did happen, that happened by the hands of the corrupt justice system that was corrupt. Because think about it, back in the day, it didn't matter. Didn't matter who you was. 9 out of 10, you was gonna get pinned for something that you didn't do. You gonna get pinned for a crime that you didn't do. Again, look how many people are coming home that got locked up eons. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful of what you're doing at all times, even when you got a family. Because guess what? Some of those curses might not plague you, but it'll plague your family. You lied on somebody, and somebody ended up getting harmed in the midst of that lie. Guess what? It's messed up. Now let's think about that Central Park Fire prime example. Every last one of them came home except for the one that passed away, which is crazy because again, portion of your life locked up in the system for some lies and treachery. Because people, again, back in the day, just like how some of it is now, too scared to open their mouth and say something. You big and bad when it comes to everything else, but you ain't big and bad when it comes to standing on principles and fucking holding down accountability. Let me know when I said something wrong, yo. London, what's going on, baby? Again, nobody should have to suffer for your mistakes and your decisions in life. Again, for some of you men and women out here, you want to be young and fast, you're going to find out it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Because you might end up getting in a situation with somebody, it might not go the way both of y'all want it to go, and that person might not be willing to let go. And that could be your problem and your downfall right there. Again, let's look at the situation at hand. And the situation is that man lost a portion of his daughter's life because of a lie, because that woman didn't want to move on. That woman couldn't accept the fact that he didn't want to be with her, but he was still willing to be a father to his child. And that is something that some of y'all have to stop doing. But again, I would even say that to the men. It's a time for a lot of you men to start doing what's necessary, man. If you feel you have to do what you need to be a part of your child's life, especially if you want to be, you do what's necessary. Forget that. Don't allow no system or anything to stop you from doing it. Point blank. Point blank, period. Supposed to fight for the rights.
Let me in, man.
Nah, I ain't letting you in.
The cops stopped us, right? You know,
what?
You wasn't one that said J Balvin, right? Somebody else said that to me. Like 2 people. They just stopped us and said, J Morgan, what you got in your pocket, this and that. They going through his bag. I said, you better not. And then I went like this and said, fuck out of here, nigga. And I took anything out of my pocket. Fuck out of here. You got anything in your pocket? It make me want to search you because you saying don't search you. I took anything out of my pocket. Money in it. Threw it on the floor. Fuck y'all niggas. Nah, watch this. I'm coming right back out. I'm going to disrespect all them niggas. I might go to the precinct and do a complaint. Why should I do?
So, look, if you gotta make a complaint, do what you gotta do. My bad, man. See, again, there are some people who have been locked up by people who are that prejudiced. And that's why, again, some of these people are coming on that. You have prejudiced behavior that kept it that way. Crazy part about it. But again, fellas, start being wiser. Same thing with you, women, start being wiser. And when you made an irrash decision, you have to take accountability and responsibility. But the one thing to remember is that nobody, again, should have to worry about losing a piece of their life for something they really didn't do. Because if you could sit here and lie about that type of crime and lie about that situation, what else could you lie about? And what else you think you're going to be able to get away with? And again, it shouldn't be tolerated. No lies on anything. Don't lie on somebody because you upset with them. Don't lie on somebody because you might have had a bad fallout with them. You got to learn to pick up yourself and move on from that. You laid down with the wrong person, all right, well, you learned your lesson. You learn to be safe. Learn to be more wise in your interactions. So I always say sometimes you got to think outside the lust factor and think about the trust factor. That trust factor outweighs everything. I can have all the lust for you, but if I can't trust you, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to work. Drop the link in case anybody want to chime in on this. You know I ain't going to keep y'all all afternoon. Again, start taking that accountability when it's needed. Start being more responsible. Because again, you are in control of everything that's presented in your life. It don't matter. Lady Shay, listen. Don't matter if it was good nookie or if it was good, you know what. Doesn't matter. Got to learn to think outside of that. Because I don't give a damn how good the nookie is. You think I'm jumping out the window for something? Nope. Not going to be doing that. And I ain't going to be sitting there lying on somebody neither. I'm not going to do something that I know could cost them a part of their life, could get them incarcerated, or could possibly make them lose theirs. Not doing that. It's pointless and petty. And that's what a lot of y'all have to stop doing. Stop being so petty in your decisions that you make. Those decisions that you make could be costly, not just for yourself, but for the person that's around you. Bugged out. Mark all of you.
What you doing?
Shit. Talking to the people. I don't know if I like you like that.
I was about to say, meet me on 2.
Look like I meet you on 2. Oh, Lord. You already. Ride up the ride back down. Yeah, I know, because you're going all the way up to West Bubba and then ride. I know, being light skinned. I know. I know, I want to hold the elevator. Already got this one to be doing that shit in the morning.
I held the elevator one morning and I got cursed out, and it's funny because I couldn't say nothing. That didn't curse me out so bad too.
I'll meet you in a minute. All right. And again, you gotta be more aware and more in control of your actions your decisions, your overall well-being. Ain't nobody else going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. You don't want to run into any danger. Hey, don't put yourself in no danger at all. Yes, Lady Shay. Yes, yes, I did. Yes, I am Nate Tyson. Yes, I said that. I said that. Don't get offended. Don't get offended. You know the catchphrase for the week. Come on, so don't be light skinned over here, son. Don't start acting Drakish over here now. Come on, Lady Shay. Don't start acting Drakish over here. But again, just to know the balance of a conversation today. Again, you got to be effectively observant on all angles, even in your own life. Again, be mindful of who you placing in your life, who you interacting with. And if you're gonna be out here being fast, just expect the consequences of being fast. You can't get in control of your overall emotions, your overall guess what? You know what's coming behind that. If you don't want that, you want to avoid that. Again, be wise in what you do and who you place in your life. You got a cuddy buddy, all right? Better make sure that cuddy buddy got their mind on straight. You have to. Because you can place yourself in the danger and not even know. You got to be careful in life. That being said, I'm not going to hold y'all much longer. It's time for me to figure out lunch and everything else. And your boy got to go in kind of early today. Trying to see how I'm going to do this. I owed y'all some music yesterday, so I might be able to give y'all some music today. Just in the event I don't come back for the conversation tonight. So, hopefully somebody did get something out of this. And again, don't let nothing I said go over your head. In order for certain things to change and to be in the right parameter, got to be more observant and effectively observant. You don't know what kind of things you can stop and what kind of things you could be a part of as far as the change is concerned if you don't start being observant to it. And if you observed what's necessary and you still not being a part of that move and that change, don't expect change to happen at all. And again, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. The link is still in the chat in case anybody want to chime in, but if not, I'm gonna let y'all get smoothly with your day. Hold on one second. Uh-oh. Angel baby.
Nate, baby.
What's going on?
I thought I'd catch you before you go. I love this subject because I think women don't get called out enough. We have so many women nowadays, you can see it all over the place, and they don't get called out enough for the fact that they try to ruin people's lives, literally saying that they've been beaten or raped or all sorts of things. You see where the guy is actually recording the woman saying, I'm going to call the police and say you've done this, and the guy's just standing there doing absolutely nothing. And I think we all need to do more in the case of if our friend comes to us and says, I've been raped, could you, he's definitely done it, but could you just say this or just say that, and it's a lie. Do not do it. Let the courts, let everyone know the truth and see the truth, because people, human beings, not just women but men, can be the hugest manipulators. They can sit there and cry and show all the signs, and it's because there's so much research out there now, because we do research and psychology on people that have been abused. So people research that now and see, how to behave, how to act. And these complete psychopaths that do this kind of thing, they actually sit there and practice in front of mirrors. You can see it where, you know, mothers nowadays, they're saying to their children, no, cry like this. There was one video where the mother was going, no, cry like this. And she smiled. The poor child has just lost his best friend. And she's saying, no, cry like this. And he's going, but Mum, I really am crying. Cry for the camera like this. Put your hand in front of your mouth. And it's like, what the hell? People doing this to their own children.
They don't care. Just like I was saying, the fact that you would sit here lie and even coerce your kids into a lie. Like I said, that man lost a portion of his child's life because, again, you come to find out the mother was lying and the mother forced the child to lie, saying that he did those things and he didn't do nothing. And that's what I'm
Absolutely
saying.
disgusting.
But you got vindictive people out there like that. And again, I've seen some men do some harsh shit, but every time when it comes to these specific situations, 9 out of 10, I'm sorry, it's always the women because they are upset some way, somehow. Look here, if I can't get along with you to a certain degree, yeah. Nah, I just told him that I just seen nuts wrong. But see, it's my thing again. You're not gonna sit there and force a child to lie on somebody like that. Especially somebody who is trying to be a part of their child's life regardless. And this is the problem. There's some of you who can't accept that if a man decides he's going to move on, especially prime example, even if it's not about a situation of y'all not getting along, maybe things just ain't working the way you want it to work. You got to learn to move on. Like growth and opportunity because you're upset about something or because you want to keep me away. No, you're not keeping me away. There's no system. There's no man, woman, or anybody alive that's going to stop me from being a part of my child's life. And that's the focus that a lot of these men need to start having again. I don't give a damn what the situation is. Shit, you ain't going to tell me I can't raise my child to be a part of that. You bugging.
Or to any man out there that isn't a part of their child's life because a woman's stopping them, fight because your children need you, whether they're sons or daughters. If you can't be together, your children still need both parents, especially if you've got some crazy psychotic baby mama. They need at least one stable parent in their life. So be there. This is what our children's lacking now. It's lacking the foundation that they need, which is both mother and father working together. If you can't be together, don't be together. That's completely fine. But don't rip your child apart.
Nah, it's a whole fact. Kids is not pawns at the end of the day, and that's the problem now. Keep trying to use them as pawns when it comes to these specific situations. Again, look here. You know, and it's the same thing because there's some men that don't know how to move on. But it'd be sad because when you get stories like this, majority of the time, it's always some sort of evilness when it comes to these specific women. That's why I say everybody got to be careful who they laying down with. And if that's not a person you plan on really raising a family with and being together with, don't do it to yourself. Be safe.
Be careful exactly who you are having your children with. And that isn't, make sure you've got plenty of money in the bank for an abortion. That's actually use protection or, be careful, be fussy, value yourself a bit more to who you're sleeping with.
Exactly.
I know most men will laugh at me for that, and quite a few women too, but I think we should value ourselves.
Listen, ain't
We
nobody
should
like
value our bodies so that we don't have to put it through the trauma of doing stuff like abortions, of having to go through that trauma mentally and physically. I've never had to go through that, and I never will. But, we need to start respecting ourselves more. Men and women, I believe.
It's just about self-control. Again, it's about restraint. That's
Hmm.
what I'm saying. You know with certain things you're not going to be able to handle. Um, you need to figure out how you want to start handling it because you're not going to be able to continue to run down this line of using the kids as pawns, and you are destroying, and you are psychologically destroying, anything that they could be possibly learning that could be beneficial. You're not teaching them how to have an effective relationship or communication with somebody when they do get to that stage. You're just showing them that if you don't get your way, this is what you need to do to get your way.
And you're showing as well that the two people that made that child hate each other and will do the worst things to each other. Like, my husband and I broke up years ago, many years ago when my son was young. But I've never felt like a single parent because he's always been a constant part of both of our lives. I'd do anything for him. He'd do anything for me and for our son. He's not rich, he doesn't have money, but he has time. We argue. I call him an arsehole, he calls me an arsehole, and sometimes we both are arseholes. But, I would never disrespect him or kind of devalue him, lie about him. I'd never keep him away from my son. It was bad enough when I walked away from my marriage without actually taking his son away from him as well. I walked away because I was unhappy, sorry. Get a bit choked up. But I knew it was against God.
Yeah.
And I walked away because I was unhappy. But it wasn't because he was a bad person. And I would never lie and say, oh, he was an abuser. He wasn't. Did we both argue and shout a lot and I didn't want that around my son? Yes. And I walked away.
But you did the right thing at the end of the day. It's not like you sat here and you walked away. And some people will say, all right, I'm going to walk away, but then still try to find a way to make somebody miserable. Like, look, there's some things in life you're never going to be able to hold on to. I don't care how tight you think you got it. If it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. But again, once there's kids involved, y'all got to have that common ground. There should be no reason why I'm keeping my child from their mother, just like it should be no reason why their mother is keeping me away from the children. Period.
So my girl.
Not unless it's a situation where you have to do that. That's it.
There's a girl version.
I think a lot of these people don't have consequences. When they lie, at best, the man doesn't go to prison. But there's never any real consequence for the fact that that man will never get over the stigma, or, if his family's already broken up because of the pressure and everything else. And I think anyone that does say something angry in the spur of the moment, I'd far more respect someone who afterwards said, I'm an asshole, I lied, than continue that lie and ruin that man's life. We all have to be responsible.
Nah, you're absolutely right. You just got to be mindful and be more prepared. And again, essentially, you got to learn to start thinking. I'm not going to be sitting out here being all hot and fast, and then now I got to worry about somebody lying and saying I did something, knowing I ain't do it. That's why I said you got to be mindful that that lust factor ain't always going to be the best factor for you. Better have a trust factor. If I'm going to be laying anything in you, I'm going to make sure you ain't going to try to tell, oh, he did this. I ain't do shit. Better prove it. Look here, I just because of this situation, I might have to record this shit. That's what some of y'all gonna have to start doing, recording shit even when you don't want to record shit. You ain't gonna be sitting here lying on me. Look here, you better go find that video right there and look at what that shit happened. Look, does that look like something being done that shouldn't be done? No.
I think my mom.
It's
I
crazy.
think my mom said a lot of truth.
I think the world's gone crazy, and I think people, I don't know if it's something in the water or not, but people just can't take, oh, the friendship's over, walk away. The relationship's over, walk away. It's like they have to kind of, they're doing everything and anything to hang on, even if it's to destroy the other person. And it's like, can't you just not have anything to do with that person? Don't even look at their life. But there's something in people today that they just want to destroy.
Yeah, because this, like I said, you solely teaching again that if this is the way you want things, you don't have to do it this way just to get them in. No, again, no children should be in the midst of no squabbles when it comes to figuring out how the hell you want to parent. Like, come on now. And it's the one notion. You got those who are actually doing what's needed and necessary. But you're not going to sit there and try to downgrade that need. If you're going to sit here and tell me I'm going to be a part of my child's life, but then you trying to take my child away, you bugged out. You ain't give me nothing. Hold on 1 second. Come over here with that. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym, huh? You was not with me shooting in the gym, nigga. Like shit. My bad.
I was there.
You was only there for stimulus records. You wasn't there for nothing else, nigga. So I'm like,
inspiration.
You ain't give me none of that.
It went from live to niggas trying to get money. And you fulfilled your dream. Me, I just said, fuck this. I ain't.
Cause you light skinned. You ain't got no work and no dedication.
You know why? Because on my live talking about people. That's why everybody was up there like, oh,
see, that's the wrong way to go. See, that's how you messing up. You messing up, brother Newski. See, you messing up.
Oh, that shit. Talk about that whole day.
Yeah, well, you would be good in the beef sector anywhere else, bro. Yeah, like, I'm sorry. You'll be over there thinking like, damn, so that nigga's really, gonna get real dirty after a while too.
Nah, my Twitch ain't lit no more though.
I don't mind beef as long as it comes with potatoes, gravy, and veg. Then I'm good.
That's that true fatness right there. It's all right, baby. No, but you know, this is again, you got to think about it. In the long run, it is more about the child's well-being and upbringing. You can't expect your child to have successful anything in life if you ain't teaching them anything, not giving them the blueprints. I mean, you sit there and expect your child to have a relationship, marriage, or anything along those lines when they are watching what you're doing. There's some of you who need to be more mindful because, again, you can't have every interaction with every man and have every man around your child. It's another strange danger, in my opinion. You don't know who the hell you laying up when that person might be on that other stuff, on that. Like I said, I don't believe that teacher should have got that. He shouldn't have even been posted bond at all.
What you mean? What teacher?
They just arrested some they just arrested some dude for a whole bunch of. So he facing every charge that he's facing is 25.
For fucking little kids and shit.
On some, it's on that level. It's straight predator, pedophilic behavior.
A lady just went to jail for that shit too. She having sex with 8th graders, recording that shit.
This is the sickness in the world.
Nate, most women that I've met in life, and I'm what? How old am I? 21.
A lot of
I'm 47.
Going on.
But in all the women that I've met over the internet and in real life, like personally, the amount of women that I know that has either been sexually abused as a child or raped as an adult is unbelievable. Then probably about 6-7 years ago, I noticed it started coming more out about young boys and men being raped because they hid it more. They kind of tried to take it on the chin more, but then they ended up committing suicide and having serious mental health problems. Then you wonder why the world is the way it is today.
Yeah, 'cause you got a bunch of sickos. Like I said, that dude, his bond is almost $1 million, but still, he shouldn't have got no bond at all. Knowing that you had pictures throughout your house, like that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes down to that, and I forgot what got. I gotta look at that thing again, but I forgot what got him wrapped up. But think about it. You've been working in the school system that long, just retired. So look how long you was doing things along those lines, and it was going unnoticed. That's why I said effective observation, even when it comes down to your kids' schools, that will save a lot of trauma and a lot of stress. And again, it is true because some young boys are not gonna be comfortable if it did happen to them. They ain't gonna feel comfortable coming out and saying something. And the ones that do, they get chastised for it.
I think what a lot of it is, say for instance, bunch of guys playing football go into the lockers and they tell a lot of gay jokes, and even though it's only in jest,
Mm.
or I've heard some of the locker talk and it's atrocious, but it's boys being boys. Now someone who has been through a rape, hearing someone say, oh shut up, you get raped every day by the coach, like joking, but really he is.
Crazy.
So sometimes some of the banter that men can have can like harm someone from coming forward
No, that's a fact right
because
there.
they feel that, men are going to laugh at them and say, that they should have been stronger, they should have fought them off because they're men.
Easier said than done. And nobody's a man until they 21 and over, paying their own bills and doing whatever. You're still young, and it shouldn't happen to you in the first place at all. But see, that's another thing too. It's not just the men that won't come forward. You got young women right now that know they've been victims and won't say nothing because it's the same thing with some of the women. I just talked about this the other day. How the girl was supposed to, how you supposed to be my friend? I just went through a serious situation in my life, and you would sit there and poke fun at it and say that, oh, I loved it, I wanted it to happen. What kind of friend are you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, what kind of friend are you for you to even allow such things like that to come out your mouth? I'm not making fun of not a male person I know that's been a victim of that, and I know people who personally been through it, and I don't joke about it. I would never joke about it.
Why would that thought even go through your mind? That someone would enjoy being fucking raped?
I'm telling you, got some people that are that sick and twisted in their mind, and some of them are just cold hearted and jealous.
Perhaps it's someone that's never been through it, so they don't understand, but I'd expect most people have some sort of empathy.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. Some people, again, they don't care. The whole purpose, again, is to try to up one or get the one up on somebody or try to make somebody feel less than. James, what's going on? Jimmy P, what's going on, y'all?
I think in that situation, you've already lost the battle because you're already less than that person. If you're even trying to put yourself into competition with another person, we all have our purpose. Like, everyone is as great as each other. We don't have to compete with each other. We just have to gel, fit in, and do whatever we're meant to be doing. We're all like pieces of a clock. If we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing, not getting jealous of each other, but just concentrating on us, then we'll tick like time work. But if we're all kind of trying to fight against each other and jump in each other's place, then we're never going to actually get anywhere. We're just going to be going in circles.
Like I said, self-investment a lot of time. That's the way you break a lot of these things. You gotta invest in yourself more than anything. Ain't nobody gonna believe in you more than you. I
Amen.
don't care how you feel about it. I don't care if you coming from the roughest spots and you ain't had nobody to really. You got people who made success stories. All right, I'm gonna prove the world wrong. I'm gonna do this, and they never look back and not saying, "Oh, down look people." No, but just show them, look, you didn't believe in me and I made it.
And
You
that
know,
is
that's a
the
lot of
best
y'all that's coming from
revenge.
those situations, and you can make it. It's solely up to you. If I know I got a skill and a talent to do something, you think I'm gonna waste my time getting locked up, constantly losing a piece of my life, my family's life, and all of that? No, I can't get that time back.
And you can't get those family members back.
Facts. You can't even get the opportunity back
My
that you
bad.
had. You can't even get the opportunity that you had back. Prime example, if you was in a prime and you could have been doing something, you done wasted a portion of your life now. So now that opportunity is out the window. But now you got to find another opportunity in life. And again, you shouldn't have to be incarcerated to learn something that you should have learned when you was outside. It take me to get locked up to realize the importance of life. Come on now. Make it make sense. Uh-oh, Pigeon's talking to me. Up, you want some weed? Oh. No, but this is why these talks are needed and necessary. Like even last night's, again, people are going to have to start being more observant and effectively observant. If I feel I know a child is being, I don't give a damn. Nigga, look at it. We ain't doing that because we wasn't doing it back in the day. We knew certain things was happening, even on that note. Nah, nigga, you gonna take this accountability and responsibility, or take this ass for either which way. You was gonna learn today. Wasn't gonna be no we overlooked it, we downplayed it, and we definitely wasn't gonna poke fun at it because again, there's some things in life you can never poke fun at. Some people have actually suffered serious traumas. They can never get back a portion of their life. They can't get back that normalcy they have. Every time they turn around, they're gonna have to be more guarded up because of that.
Well, I popped up, gave my 2 cents worth. Not that it's worth much, but
You over here eating Pop Tarts? No, but nah, I know you ain't gonna pop in though. Nah, it's more appreciated though. You already know. You always more than welcome to pop in the conversation. Like anybody. It was just something that was needed today. Because again, effective observation. How you expect change even within the smallest parameters of your community if you ain't being a part of that observation and that change.
we all have to be responsible for ourselves. But I think this generation doesn't hold any accountability. It's like they have no accountability for their actions. If they're hurt or upset, it's not because of something they did, it's because someone hurt their fifis. And I think we make too many excuses for that kind of gaslighting. I think there's not enough consequences for people that do try to trying to destroy someone's life. Send them to prison. That should be a crime.
Right.
So, first of all, we want equal opportunities. So let's make it equal. If you accuse someone of trying to rape you and send them to prison, you should get the same sentence that they would have got.
Facts. And that's what I'm strong on. You want to make strong reforms and stuff like that in that system. Make it to where, guess what? Somebody don't have to get locked up for a crime they didn't commit, especially by lies and treason. And that's what I'm saying. Some of these people are coming home because we know we had corrupt cops. some of these people are coming home because of corrupt statements from corrupt people. Nigga, I don't care how. If you better say this shit, nigga, look here, man. I don't give a damn what road I'm going down. That man upstairs is not going to allow me to lie on somebody and ruin their life. So sorry. Nobody will be doing that to me.
I better jump off, but great topic, Nate, and lovely to catch you all.
You already know, baby. You're always more than welcome to pop in on the panel and pop in on the convo. I'm glad that everything is good with you.
Sorry?
So glad that everything is good with you too. So
yeah, really good. I've been spending a lot of time with God lately, and it's been really therapeutic.
Yes, more therapeutic than this damn siren out here every day.
I don't know, you should hear me when I'm like doing the housework and blazing my praise music and singing along to it. My voice isn't pretty, but Jesus loves it. Even the cats run away.
Oh shit, you made the cats run away. That's a problem right there.
I can sing, just not in tune, but one day maybe. I have to start praying on it. I'll come out singing like a soprano.
Nah, my bad.
Hey, you can do anything. You can do anything. Shoot, you still got time.
All right then, hon, you take care.
No doubt. Take care too.
God bless everyone. Have a brilliant day. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed one too. Definitely appreciate you for chiming in. Shout outs to Angel again for popping in on this panel today. I said what I need to say. You know, again, start being more effective as far as your observations are concerned. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get up out of here and go figure out my lunch. I could be back tonight with the convo. If not, I'll be back tonight with some music definitely on the backup. Or I could be on the Twitch. Just expect that notification.
Might be telling them.
Always a blessing to bring something to the people. And this is what we're gonna continue to do. Y'all was new to the channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I'm gonna do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real builds. And I'll definitely chime in with y'all in a little bit. And I'll see y'all running around these streets too. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.